This video is to determine the basis of stock in the hands of the stockholder for each of the following incidents. So, A. The contribution of property with a basis of 100,000, fair market value of 1,400. Well, in this instance, basis for shareholder equals basis in property, which is $1,000. Now they give us a second scenario. Contribution of property with a basis of 3,000, fair market value of 3,800, and the stockholder also receives $500 cash from the corporation as part of the stock transaction. Okay, so I'm going to put down the given information here. Basis in property, fair market value, and they received cash. So first thing we must do is calculate the difference in fair market value and basis in the property. I spelled property wrong. Property. And so fair market value minus basis in property. So this is the extent of which a gain would be recognized. So then we take the cash received, and so gain to be recognized is the lesser of the difference in fair market value and basis, or cash received. So it's the lesser. So this is the gain to be Alright. Now we have to determine what the shareholder's basis is. So calculate the basis in the stock. Sorry, clicked on the wrong problem. So calculate the basis in the stock. So we have basis in property plus any gain less boot received, which is the cash in this problem, basis in stock, equals the sum of all of these, or $3,000. Okay, problem 3. We have a contribution of property with a basis of 8,200, basis in property, fair market value 12,500, and the stockholder also received a property with fair market value of $1,700. Basis in stock so in order to calculate this, first we must find the difference in fair market value. And basis in the property. I can't spell property. So the way that we're going to do that is property received. We're going to take the 12,500 and subtract the basis in the property. So we've received property received, gain to be recognized is the lesser of the difference in fair market value and basis in property and so we choose the smaller of these two numbers, which is $1,700. So now we calculate basis in stock. It equals the basis in the property plus any gain, which we calculated, less any boot received, which equals the fair market value of property received. So we're going to subtract this number. Basis in stock equals the total of these numbers. Alright, and our final one. We have contribution of a building with a fair market value of $200,000 and a mortgage assumed by the corporation of $100,000, basis and a basis of $125,000. So I'm just going to put down some given information here. We have basis in property. We have fair market value of the property. And then we have mortgage assumed by corporation. So there's no gain because the mortgage assumed is less than the basis in the property. So now we're going to just calculate the basis in the property, basis in the stock, which is basis in property which is 125 plus any gain, and there was no gain, less any boot received, which is mortgage assumed by corporation. So the basis in the stock on this example is only $25,000. And then there's a final problem, E, which I happened to delete by accident here. So E, we said we have a basis in the property of $635,000. We have a fair market value of the property of $1,700,000, and we have a mortgage assumed by the corporation of $1 million. Add another zero here. So to calculate the gain, gain it equals mortgage assumed by corporation less basis in property, which is the 635,000. So gain equals the sum of these two things. So now in order to calculate the basis in the stock, we take the basis in the property plus any gain less any boot received, which is the mortgage assumed by the corporation, basis in stock equals the sum of these, which is in fact 0. So now we're going to take the exact same problems that we just had in this, and we're going to assume that it was contributed to a corporation that meets the 80% rule in all cases. So now we need to calculate the basis inside for the corporation. All right, A, contribution of property with a basis of fair market, a basis of 1,000, fair market of 1,400. Basis for a corporation equals basis in property for shareholder, or $1,000. So for the corporation, for the contribution of property with the basis of 300,000, fair market of 3,800, the shareholder also received cash from the corporation. So to calculate this for the corporation, we have the carryover basis, which was 3,000. We have the fair market value, which is 3,800, and then we have cash paid to stockholder. $500. So it equals carryover basis plus any gain recognized by shareholder. And we calculated the gain in this first problem. B, gain to be recognized. So I'm just linking this. So basis for a corporation in property equals 3,500. Now we have a corporation that received property contributed with a basis of 8,200, fair market value of 12,500, and the stockholder also received property with a fair market value of 1,700. So we take the basis in the property fair market value, property paid, distributed to shareholder, fair market value equals 1,700. So to calculate the corporation basis, we take the carryover basis, which is the 8,200, plus any gain recognized by a shareholder, which we calculated in problem number 47. Gain to be recognized, corporation basis in property equals the sum of these two numbers. All right, D. Basis in property is 125. Fair market value is 200. And mortgage assumed by corporation. So this one, no gain was recognized because mortgage assumed was less than basis property. Therefore, carryover basis equals all right, and our final one, we have the contribution of a building with a fair market value of $1,700, 1.7 million, and a mortgage assumed of 1 million with a basis of 635,000. So we have basis in property fair market value 1,700,000, and then we have mortgage assumed by corporation. All right. Gain equals, we calculated it over here, oops. So we have a gain of 365,000. So the corporate basis equals carryover basis, which is the basis in the property, plus gain basis which is the sum of these two numbers. So this is how you would calculate inside basis, and 47 was outside basis for a corporation.